Hello, A to Z listeners. This is Little Willie from Little Willie's Record Shelf, and I am here with Pat Gesualdo of the Metal Hall of Fame. And this is a kind of an impromptu interview, but this is a really fabulous thing that he's got going. And we're going to let Pat just fire off and let us know what it's all about. What you got, Pat?
Thank you so much for having me on. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So the Metal Hall of Fame, it's going to be our 5th anniversary bash, actually, September 12th. At volume.com/Metal Hall of Fame at 3 p.m. Eastern. And it's actually going to be our live stream because of COVID this year. We actually have, had to do it live streamed video because we couldn't do our annual gala in person, unfortunately, like we usually do. We usually have our annual gala as the kickoff to the NAMM show in January every year, but because of COVID, this had to be live streamed. So the gala this year, 2021, is pretty, phenomenal as they usually are. Yeah, we have Doc McGee, who's KISS manager currently, and he's being inducted by Paul Stanley. Got Paul Stanley to induct Doc McGee.
That's awesome.
Yeah, great, right? Really is. Bruce Kulick, and I got Eric Singer to induct Bruce.
You're hitting right at home for me here. This sounds wonderful.
Big KISS fan, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, me too.
Awesome.
Me too, yeah, for sure. Eric Carr, and we have Troy Benante inducting Eric Carr, plus a few other special guests.
Okay.
We're inducting Bill Coyne, the original KISS manager who started the whole thing.
Yes.
We have Keith Roth from Sirius XM, Ozzy's Boneyard and Hair Nation. So Keith is going to be inducting Bill. We have then the Special Iron Maiden induction, and we have Paul Di'Anno, and he's going to be inducted by Nigel from Saxon, Nigel Glockner. We have Blaze Bailey. And Blaze is being inducted by Ripper Owens, which is cool.
That's pretty awesome.
Right? And, of course, who could forget Derek Riggs?
Yeah, with Derek Riggs, probably there wouldn't be half as many Iron Maiden fans as there is. So, and if any listeners don't know that, Derek Riggs is the creator of the famous Eddie character that you see on every Iron Maiden album. And he continued for quite a few albums up until about the 13th or 14th album, as far as I can remember.
Wow, that's right. You're absolutely right, yeah. And, I always say that Derek is definitely one of the most iconic creators of a mascot ever because of Eddie. I mean, I don't care if it's Snoopy. I don't care if it's Ronald McDonald. You have Eddie, who is one of the most prolific mascots of all time.
I definitely agree. So who else do we have coming up?
Triumph. We're going to induct Triumph. And they did something really special for us, and they're being inducted by Joey Vendetti from Live Nation.
Okay.
And then we have Mark Weiss. Of course, Mark is a famous, rock and metal photographer.
Yeah, if you knew Metal Edge magazine, you knew Mark Weiss's pictures. That's for sure.
That's right. And the iconic picture of Ozzy in the tutu.
Oh yeah,
he took that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then of course we have Stryper, and so it's going to be, and Marty Friedman. Who could forget Marty Friedman?
Right. And that's my favorite phase of Megadeth anyway.
Oh, it is.
I wasn't necessarily into his instrumental stuff, but I think he brought a new life to Megadeth that made a lot more common listeners really take notice.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, you have your two phases, right?
Yeah.
As many bands do, and then you have the Marty Friedman era. And I agree. I think you're absolutely right.
Okay, this sounds wonderful. Now, can you refresh us on I see that you're also having video and inductions and performances by Metallica, Judas Priest, Anthrax, Bill Ward of Black Sabbath, who is the heartbeat of Black Sabbath.
Absolutely.
You wouldn't have Iron Man if it wasn't for that kick drum. So Jeff Tate, Ronnie James Dio, inducted by Wendy Dio, Mickey D from Motorhead and Scorpions, and Joe Satriani, Rudy Sarzo. Man, this list just goes on. Randy Rhoads, Chris Poland, another Megadeth alum, Steve Vai, who we were just discussing with Greg Bissonette earlier, Carmine Appice, Lizzie Hale, and Don Airy. So that sounds like a really great show. Do you want to refresh us on the dates and times that we can find that?
Yeah, and the bands and artists that you just mentioned is from our past 5 years.
Okay.
So our induction with Priest, for example, at Wacken, because we have various festival partners too that ask us to come out at festivals and do inductions.
Oh, okay.
So we got Anthrax at Heavy Montreal. Like you mentioned, Bill Ward, that was an awesome induction. So we have Metallica induct Johnny and Marcia Zazula.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Right,
yeah.
That was a great thing, and that was right before Marcia, died, unfortunately.
Yeah, bless her heart.
Oh, she was just awesome.
Yeah.
And so, that's going to be September 12th 3 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern. And that's at volume.com/Metal Hall of Fame.
Okay.
And that'll be the streaming service where you can see the whole gala.
That sounds wonderful. Well, thank you for your time, Pat. And we'll be posting this up on our social medias and our website so people can link up to it. And we'll drop this in where you can find a place to fit it, to be honest with you.
Thank you.
I appreciate your time. Thanks for everything, and you have a good day at ROCKNPOD.
Thank you. You too. And thank you for having me on. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. And thank you for hosting.
And have a great day.
Thank you.